spectacle now and the whole world's watching.
The finals. It shares a lot of DNA with many shooters and FPS games, but the one I want to talk about today is Team Fortress 2 and the weapons and classes and subclasses that I feel like made it into the finals. So without further ado, let's start with the first. Easy first pick. The class is literally called Heavy, and they have a minigun. It has 250 rounds, but it does have a slow reload. But more surprising than just having a minigun, jump revving and sliding into revs is still a very valid tactic and almost necessary to actually use this weapon, especially if you try to use it in ranked or anything like that. It's got a lot of nuance, and you almost need a healer, quite like TF2. But more surprising than that is you can actually, and quite viably, run Fat Scout. Not something I expected to see from this game, but kind of glad to see it. I quite like running the SA1216 in this game, and hopefully one day I'll be able to be good enough to run it in ranked like I want to. But while we're still talking about Heavy, something I didn't expect to add in this is a healing item called the healing emitter, but it's the only droppable healing item in the game, and it can heal your entire team, but the more people that are connected to it, the slower it heals. Makes you a little more stationary, but you can pick it up and throw it, so on to the next class.
Boom. Headshot.
So they did something interesting in my opinion. They combined basically every lower health class into one archetype just called Light. Scouts in it, snipers in it, spies in it too, funnily enough, and you can build it any way you want with it in the set means of the game. But you can basically have a dash, which kind of acts like a double jump if you angle it right, but it moves you even faster, with a sniper rifle, with a bow. So basically you have the huntsman too, but you can also be invisible with the sniper rifle, or you can dash. Again, another class I did not expect to make it into another FPS. And now granted, the turret in this kind of sucks. It doesn't shoot behind it. But let's be real, with the game being this competitive, having a class that can just set up shop and run the show in a defense scenario when everything's about objectives in this game would be pretty busted. But recently they made the Model 1887, the break action shotgun, extremely good, but the revolver, which I know a lot of fans in TF2 has been asking the engineer to have a revolver, keep that cowboy spirit up, but you know, never really gonna get that. But hey, it's here, and I do enjoy both the shotgun and revolver in this game. But the turret really doesn't do that much damage, and you are more or less just having an assistant more than your entire game plan being around the turret. The turret's just there to help you in this game. But on to a fan favorite.
I don't even know where to start with you.
So, I think the Scout made it the most intact into the finals. The Matter 8, as they call it in this game, literally is just a scatter gun, almost 1-for-1. 8 rounds. Now, it is a mag reload, so fuck everyone else, I guess, that when you actually use this thing. But he also has a double barrel shotgun, which is a little more busted than the Force of Nature, in my opinion. But hey, that's neither here nor there, or the argument I really want to bring up. But with the dash basically being a better double jump for evasiveness, and giving you the ability to spam it and fly a little farther and use bounce pads in a more unique way, gives you a lot of versatility and a lot of ways to move around and move fast. So props to the light class to keeping that good old skunt spirit experience alive.
me a good demo man? If I were a bad demo man, I wouldn't be sitting here discussing it with you now, would I?
This is the first time I have to throw my hands up and say this is way worse than playing TF2. This weapon is barely usable for 90%, if not like 99% of the game population. No one likes to use it, no one wants to fix it, and I think most TF2 players could look at it and just be like, damn, just make it like Demoman's grenade launcher and it would be so much better. But no, we have to deal with it the way it is. Like, look at this thing. Like, it doesn't roll, it only bounces. If you make direct contact, it doesn't explode. Like, just making direct contact explosions and giving it a little more distance would make this thing extremely viable. Maybe to the point they would have to knock the damage down a little bit. But honestly, I don't think they should. I think this should be a usable weapon, but no, we have to deal with it the way it is. Sorry, that's a rant. I wish I could use the MGL. On to the next class, I guess.
If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight.
Now, initially when I thought about making this video, I didn't think there was any direct comparisons to Soldier because Heavy has the RPG and it's a one-shot weapon and it takes like 50 seconds to recharge, so yeah, you're not spamming that rocket launcher. But then I looked at the medium class and I noticed the CL40 with 5 shots, and it does have a lower damage than rocket launcher. It's basically just a Liberty launcher with a little bit of arc. So not exactly the one-for-one Soldier, but it's as close as you're gonna get, especially when you use something like the jump pad and drop down on people and start throwing that 40 mic down on people. So about as comparable as you can get. But don't try to grenade jump or whatever type of jump you think you're gonna use. Use the bounce pad.
Then he used his fight money to buy 2 of every animal on Earth. And then he herded them onto a boat, and then he beat the crap out of every single one.
Gentlemen. I see the briefcase is safe.
Safe and
Yeah, it
sound.
is.
Yeah.
Tell me, did anyone happen to kill a red spy on the way here? No? Then we still have a problem.
And a knife.
The most spy thing they ever could have added into this game: an invisibility cloak and a dagger. Now, the dagger does near one-shot damage to all the classes except for the Heavy at full health, which it does like 320, 340. Doesn't really matter. One more swing will instantly kill the Heavy. But you can do some tricky shit with this. Dashing and getting the backstab is a very nasty combo, and the only way to avoid it is turning into your opponent or turning 45 degrees so they don't get that instant backstab off you. But I know some people like Gunspy, but let's be honest, the revolver isn't, as classy as it is, isn't really a spy weapon. But they have the USP-45 with a suppressor, which I find to be a way more covert weapon than a revolver, as much as I do like them myself. And the V9S, as it's called in this game, is a very good weapon itself. Alright, let's talk about the class everybody wants in their team, but hardly anybody wants to play.
When the patient woke up, his skeleton was missing, and the doctor was never heard from again. Anyway, that's how I lost my medical license.
Alright, just like the rest of the classes I've talked about, it's not exactly the same, but the DNA is still there. So the Medi Beam is very good for healing, but it does have a limit and there is no overhealing. Thank God, honestly. Because with the Heavy's gadgets that can help block damage, it would be ridiculous if you could also overheal, and it would probably be one of the strongest gadgets in the game. But it would incentivize healing, so I wouldn't complain too much, but it also would be extremely broken. But I think it would incentivize mediums playing with their Heavies more if they could overheal them instead of just healing them. Because there's way too often I see players using the Medi Beam and they won't use it, or it'll just be a last reserve, or they'll go heal the light. But honestly, one of the weirdest tactics to deal with in this game is definitely the healing circle jerk, where 3 mediums are all using Medi Beams and defibs to constantly keep each other alive. Like, it looks funny, but it's, if you can't kill them instantly with either good headshots on poke weapons or use an explosive, it's rather annoying to deal with. But you can't be healing all the time in the finals. You are expected to fight, unlike the medic class in TF2. And a good recommendation is if you really wanted to use a needler, the P90 is way better than that thing ever could have been. But if you were always good at hitting your crossbow shots, I would recommend the repeater. It's probably one of the best single shot weapons in the game right now.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
No, I ain't talking about that freak, all right? He's not here, is he? How do I get this fucking thing off?
One shudders to imagine what inhuman thoughts lie behind that mask. One dreams of chronic and sustained cruelty.
If you hated Pyro in TF2, you're definitely not going to like him in the finals. It's all the problems, but some of them are even worse because of the gadgets they gave to the heavy. And the lock bolt can literally lock an entire team down and hold them to place where you just sit there and flame them. The fire gets in your eyes, you can't see, and it's never fun to fight against. Like, I would definitely have way more fun, even as a soldier main, constantly trying to bait out air blasts and just generally trying to make sure they can't throw my missiles back at me. That was way more engaging than actually having to deal with the flamethrower in the finals. It's actually not fun to fight against. And I know Pyro has the Abessa suit in TF2, but honestly, using a flamethrower makes you fucking cancer in this game. So yeah, 2 out of 10. I don't recommend fighting him. Alright, thanks for watching this far, and I would like to say, this game isn't TF2 at the end of the day, but it is very similar, and I've honestly stopped playing TF2, and I've moved on to the finals. This has been a long time ago. I doubt anybody that remembers my promise from honestly like 5 months back. Shout out to the people still watching from back then. But I said I would make a video comparing the finals in TF2, and I guess I finally got around to making it. But definitely one of the things I really do like, emoting on people after the kills. I do enjoy the lot of them that they have on here. I enjoy the unique sense of style this game has. But yeah, if you play TF2, I hope you do give this game a shot. There is so many things that are similar and even better in its own way. And I know TF2 mostly revolves around its single shot weapons, and a lot of the weapons in this game are automatic. But the semi-automatic weapons are usually better if you have the skill to use them, so I do recommend you try to give this game a shot. Mostly because it does get weekly updates and they have balance changes. I hope you do try this game for yourself. But anyway, I've been Rats, and next video I plan on making about this game will probably be about how I would make minor improvements to pull more engagement from this game.